Hey, this is DadByFire. I'm going to show you how I cook over fire for my family most nights of the week and show you some tips and tricks along the way so you can too. Tonight, I'm making coffee-crusted pork chops with a blueberry red wine sauce. Now, the first thing I like to do when I get home is I can start chopping my wood right away and start building out the fire. What this does is it gives me time to change clothes if I want to, gives me time to start prepping my food, seasoning, all those things. And while I'm doing that, it gives time for the fire to burn down, do the proper heat, get some coals, get some nice coals going. So by the time I'm done with all those changing and getting my food prepped, I can start cooking right away. I like to use these tumbleweed fire starters, super quick to light up. I just use a scar torch to light them up. They go up really quick. They have a high flame, so they catch the logs really quick. And I just stack my wood about 6 logs high. All right. Well, while the fire starts building, let's season up our pork chops. I keep this really simple, guys. I'm just here to show you tips and tricks of how I do it, how I make it quick. I usually just use salt and pepper most of the times. This one I'm using the ground coffee. This is where the coffee crusted pork chops come in. This can pair really well with the blueberry wine sauce. You're gonna have that bitterness of the coffee mixed with the sweetness of the blueberry red wine sauce, and it pairs really well together. But what I want to emphasize here is that, look, I don't use a whole lot of super complex seasonings. Salt, pepper, garlic. If you watch my videos, it's mostly what I use. I know it's kind of plain, but if you're busy like me, if you're a busy dad like me, or busy parent cooking most nights of the week, especially with a fire, you kind of want this something simple, something quick that's gonna taste really good. And honestly, salt, pepper, garlic, it does a lot of heavy lifting. It depends on what I'm making, right? If I'm make it Mexican food, I'll throw some cumin in there or some Mexican oregano, some paprika or some stuff like that. But yeah, guys, I keep it super simple. Just taking my meter thermometer in there to get the temperature right to 165. Got those seasoned up. All right, fire's looking real good. Gonna clean off the grate here for a little bit. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put on the cast iron skillet to let it warm up. Then we're gonna put our red wine on there and start reducing it down. The fire's looking nice, guys. All right, as the skillet warms up to get ready for the red wine, what we're gonna do next is cut up our potatoes. This is gonna be our side. Again, super quick, super easy side. These potatoes, salt, pepper, garlic with some olive oil. Toss them around, put some foil, and throw them in the fire. Me and my family, we like potatoes, so we do them often. So these videos you see, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of side potatoes. But again, the point of this video is to show you some tips and tricks on how I cook for my family over the fire, how I make it simple for myself, and also how I make it taste good for my family. So that's what I'm here to show you, and that's why I do potatoes often. I just wrap them up in this foil so that I don't have to worry about the potatoes being burned, and then I'll show you how I put them off to the side of the fire. All right, guys, now that the cast iron skillet is nice and warmed up, next thing we're going to do is throw the red wine in there so we can start reducing it and start making that sauce. Make sure you bring out your soy sauce and your brown sugar and a little bit of salt because that's what we're going to add to the red wine sauce. Honestly, for about $4 red wine for the red reduction sauce, not bad. Again, guys, keep it cheap. You don't need expensive wine. I just got a red blend from the grocery store. Keep it super simple. Put in there. Honestly, the skillet was probably a little bit too hot for this one, but that's okay. You'll see it was still reduced pretty nicely. All right, guys, change the view up for you. Pour the red wine in there. We're just going to let it start reducing down to let it start thickening up. All right, guys, the red wine is reduced down to my liking. Next thing I'm going to do is start adding my blueberries to start making that blueberry wine reduction sauce. This gives it all the flavor, gives it a lot of the sweetness, makes it taste really good. Just give it a stir, kind of blend it all together, and then after this, it's just kind of a waiting game again, same way we did with the red wine to let it reduce. We're gonna wait until these blueberries start to pop and start to blend in with the red wine. All right, now that the blueberries and red wine has time to reduce, I go ahead and this is where I add my potatoes. So kind of right off to the side of the fire, this is where I put my potatoes. I don't put them directly into it. I kind of want just the heat from the coals to be cooking those potatoes. I don't want it right in the fire. So just kind of put them off to the side, make sure they're tightly wrapped in foil. No potatoes exposed. If they're exposed, the ones that are exposed are going to be burned. So just make sure all your potatoes are wrapped in foil. That's all. Alright guys, now I'm just waiting for my blueberries and my red wine to reduce down even more. You'll see in most of my videos, I'm a big proponent of slowing down while you're cooking. Part of the reason why we do this is because we love being around the fire, we love the crackle, we love the smell. So anytime there's time just to kind of sit down and calm down and think and look at the fire, look at your food, take that time. For me, this was that time, finishing off that red wine. All right, guys, back to the blueberry red wine sauce. Now that it's reduced some more, I'm gonna add my brown sugar and my salt and my soy sauce. Now, I don't really know how much I added. I kind of just threw it in there and I seasoned to taste. If you want it more savory, feel free to add some more soy sauce. If you want it more sweet, feel free to add some more brown sugar and just kind of mix with the flavors and just do it to your liking. But this part's a crucial part. This part gives it a really nice, sweet, savory taste to your blueberry red wine sauce. All right, my red wine blueberry sauce is reducing really nicely. Coals are looking great. What I'm going to go ahead and do next is start throwing those pork chops on there to get those cooking because I know that this red wine sauce is just about done. So just throw those. It doesn't matter what side you put them on. Just throw them on one of the sides and move the pan out of the way. Just kind of make space for everything. Yeah, we're gonna start cooking the pork chops. One thing I really want to stress to you guys is fire management is really important. So if you feel like your stuff's starting to burn, maybe it's getting too hot, just throw those gloves on and bring that grate up away from the fire. It's always better to kind of err on the caution of it being too hot. You don't want your food to burn, and you can always lower it back down if after a few minutes maybe you feel like you got it up too high. But just want to show you what it looks like now, guys. This food's looking great. Red wine sauce is looking awesome. Pork chops looking awesome. Our fire is burning down really good. Really liking the way this is coming out. Super excited about it. Smells great. All right, guys, this is the part where I flip my potatoes to cook the other side. Make sure you wrap them a lot better than I did because they definitely fell all over the place. All right, my red wine blueberry sauce reduction is finished. It is to my liking. It's got some thickness to it. Really liking the way it's coming out. Loving the taste. Also, as this cools down, it will continue to thicken up. So don't think it's too thin. Just remember that it will continue to thicken as it cools down. All right, now that I removed that red wine reduction sauce, I'm gonna move my pork chops around and continue to let them cook up to temp. All right, pork chops are done. They're at about 145, 150 internal, right where I want them. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them off and finish off the potatoes. All right, blueberry red wine sauce is finished. Pork chops are finished. Now I just finishing off these potatoes. They're off to the side. There's a nice bed of coals right next to them. Just kind of moving the log around, move some coals around to make sure they cooked. This is the last part. Just waiting for these to get done. All right, everything's done. Gonna bring the potatoes inside and get ready for the plate taste test. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay that pork chop off to the side. It's looking really good. Like the way it came out. It's got a nice coffee crust on it. I'm gonna take my blueberry reduction sauce and just kind of spread that all over the top, just like that. Next thing I'm gonna do, get my potatoes that are still in the foil, start to plate those, put those off to the side. Now I'm still a child at heart, so I like ranch on pretty much anything, especially potatoes. So I'm gonna get some homemade ranch that I made earlier and put ranch on the potatoes. All right, this is where it comes together. Taste time. Now the coffee on the coffee crusted pork chop and the sweetness of the blueberry red wine reduction sauce pair really well together. It's the bitter, it's the sweetness. You taste that soy sauce, you taste that brown sugar. It's just all the flavors. It tastes great. You're gonna love it. The roasted potatoes with ranch on it, super easy side, super delicious side. Whoever you're cooking for is gonna like it. Your spouse, your wife, your husband, your family, whoever you're cooking for, I think is really gonna like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and like. And I'll catch you guys next time.